always had the habit of wherever I've lived, we've always taken off our shoes before entering. Apart from the pragmatics of that, there's some signifying potency. In certain other traditions, would always bow before entering. When we gather here, we take a seat, and usually, with me, we start and connect to our deep breath. Some of you may arrange the furniture or sage your space, smudge your space. These little actions, these signifiers, it starts to send a message to that deeply unconscious kind of parts of ourself. We're about to start something, right? We're entering into sacred ground. And I invite you just to hold that or consider that. At some area of our life, whether it's this practice, whether it's somewhere else in your life, that you hold and maintain some space, some ritual, something as sacred. And that we send that signal to ourselves. Whether by taking our seat, connecting to our breath, align skull bones over sit bones. And if the word sacred is a little too, it kind of pokes at your inner skeptic, let's use the word wonder. Where are those times where you can engage in a sense of wonder and awe? Maybe, as we grow that sense of wonder and awe and sanctity in this human form, maybe, just maybe, that has some influence on our thoughts, our behaviors. So we're going to try it out today. So whether you're working with discovering and exploring your sacredness, seeking it, understanding it, knowing it, tasting it, touching it, feeling it, let that be our move today, our intention. To contact that wonder, that awe, that sacredness again. Working that ujjayi breath, breathing it in and on and through your core. Like you're You're getting a filament to brighten. To brighten, to ignite that inner light, that votive, that fire. It's a non-forceful breath. To breathe in and on your core. And that luminescing way actually needs softness on our part. For our soft skills to be potent and powerful requires some practice. Our breath work for today. We're going to alternate a round of Brahmari with, let's say, 3 deep Ujjayi breaths. So it'll be Brahmari, 3 Ujjayi breaths. And we'll alternate like that for some period of time. Fun and easy. Here we go. We'll start us off. So 1 deep inhalation, and permitting the lips, the tongue, the jaw, the face to be soft, using the entire exhalation to sound. Three luminescing breaths, connecting that, threading that in and through core. Feeling that sacred pulse and rhythm of each breath, enlivening the body. So let's continue. I'll bring my sound down so that you can hear yourself. 1 round Brahmari, 3 deep breaths. At times, our connection to our sacredness can feel tenuous, thin. Which is why it's so important that we enact these rituals with frequency. Lots of remembrance helps build that constancy of experience. Let's finish the alternating round that you're doing, and we'll do one more. And if you're still having some challenge connecting to what you feel is sacred and wondrous, you might try that little Mona Lisa smile. It's just a little one, but man, is that a big one. All right, knee pile. Let's go right knee over left knee. So accessing all around the chambers of the heart. Take one deep breath in and around the front, the back, the sides of the heart. And bringing the right elbow up in front of the right shoulder, unlocking the shoulder. Inhale into the right side shoulder and trapezius. The valves and the muscles of the heart, the sacs, those protective sacs around the lungs and the heart. Exhale, glide the right shoulder down, the right shoulder blade down, reach the elbow forward. Just spreading open through the heel of the palm and the fingertips so that wrist and that hand feels like it's part of this conductance. Inhale into the right side again. Let's go feet active this round. And exhale, bring that right shoulder down, and then Vijay, you might bring your right elbow inwardly. So it's directly, there you go, in front of the shoulder, reaching that elbow forward. Kind of turning on those chest muscles. We'll do so even more. As we inhale, place that left palm inside the right elbow. Keeping feet active. Exhale, draw the shoulder down. Now press elbow into palm. And that palm that presses into the elbow, get that chest muscle to turn on also. So both chest muscles on, right hand broad, wide, energized. Once more. Exhaling, shoulder down, chest muscles on. And release. deep breath in and around the heart and the neck. And we're going to stand the right foot up onto the ground. So our right knee points toward the sky for a seated spinal twist. With the right hand fingertips on the ground, inhale, raise your left arm. So lifting the ribs up, exhaling, hook that left elbow over the right thigh. And release. Inhale, unwind from the twist, the legs, and we'll switch. Knee pile first. Left knee over right. Unlocking the shoulder. Inhaling, let's bring the left elbow up in front of the left shoulder, hand bone spread. Exhaling, gliding the shoulder down, the blade down. Keeping that elbow directly in front of the shoulder, reach it forward. Fan open the heel of the palm. You might have to adjust the wrist. You're going to reach out all those fingertips. Feel that breath reaching the heart sac, the lung sac. These are these protective membranes around these vital organs of governance, and the heart is a kind of a master governor in the Eastern traditions. Now, placing that right palm to the inside of the left elbow. As you exhale, glide that left shoulder down, and as you press, feel both chest muscles turn on, both. So that right hand pressing is turning on chest muscles also. Release. Take one deep breath into that left side, the neck, the shoulder, the ribs. Seated spinal twist. Stand the sole of your left foot on the ground. Inhale the right hand up, left hand to the ground. Exhaling, hook right elbow over left thigh. I would argue that the power to connect to what's sacred, that habit of consciousness of finding and feeling and participating in the sacred, moves us toward what's good and what's true and what's beautiful. So the pursuit of feeling and finding and experiencing the sacred takes us down a path of something that just feels really right. And gives us some nice meaning-making artifacts. And release. Inhaling, let's unwind. Unwind from the twist, unwind the legs. We'll lie on back as we set up for elbow to knee. Have your roll nearby, and also have your block nearby. So from lying, we'll bring the feet off ground. Interlace hands behind head. Inhaling, the head and the shoulders off the ground. Just a little bit is perfect. And curling tailbone. Exhale, reach that left leg out. You can turn or move the elbows, unlocking them in the direction of your right thigh. A slight little upper body move and draw the low belly down. Inhale, bend left knee. Curl tailbone, exhale, right leg reaches out, elbows. Reach them toward that left thigh, pull, low belly down. Inhale, bend right knee. I'll talk through one more. Use my abdominal pressure to feel the back on the ground. Exhaling, curling the tailbone, reach that left leg out. Unlock both shoulders in the direction of the right thigh. Pull low belly down. Relaxing head into hands. Inhale centrally. Curl tailbone. Exhale. Right leg reaches out. Elbows reach slightly left. Pull low belly down. And now inhale. Let's do 3 more on each side. And we can do those at our own pace. Let's do so now. Breathing in a way that luminesces the belly and the pelvis. This is my editorial, but my sense is, as we work to feel and find space, we consequently work to feel and find that luminosity therein. And we can feel and sense that luminosity in our body. Again, my sense is we can sense and feel what's sacred. The sacred, as we experience it, as we practice experiencing it, tends to lend a cohering, organizing field around and in the practitioner. There seems to arise a sense of an orderedness, an organizational cohering force. I think it's really neat. Let's grab the roll. Let's use the roll between the legs. And we'll reach the legs straight up. Inhaling into the low abdomen, the pelvis. Squeezing the roll. reaching the legs up. Exhale, the head and the shoulder blades up. Draw the low belly down. Inhaling, head to ground. We'll keep this really simple today. Engage the inner legs into that roll, curl, tailbone. Exhale, head, shoulders up. Getting those legs to light. Those legs getting luminous below, belly down. Right, inhaling. When we set the head down, let's take ourselves through the final 5. So here we go. On our own, last 5. That's squeezing the roll. Jaw relaxed. Base of tongue can relax. How do we participate in or experience an awe and a reverence in and for an abdomen, a pelvis? There's extraordinary wisdom, intelligence in the pelvis. Intelligences that help us remain alive. The intelligence and the engines to move us to safety. Find our tribe. So it appears that we're finished. Perfect. Now when we set up bridge, this is what the block might be helpful for. I'm going to set this bridge up with feet in parallel, about hip width apart, fingertip distance from shoulders. And on exhale, shifting tailbone up, the buttock lifts. And taking the spine off the ground. We'll use the block today in our bridge, so insert it under sacrum at any time. Again, if it's challenging to directly experience the sacred spirit, however you want to call it, use this little stepping stone way. Start to feel and explore space in the body. And as you're breathing into and kind of absorbing and exploring those spaces, feel how those spaces are not inert. They're vibrant. There's a very lively quality in the space. And let that lively quality just walk you into that felt sense of sacredness, presence. So Hatha today, left hand reaches down and helps the left foot back. By back, meaning pulling this left foot back, top of foot on ground. So we'll release, setting that left foot down. And then right hand will reach down for Hatha. Help the right foot back. So placing top of right foot to the ground if your knees admit that. Sometimes in my practice, I've needed like little stepping stones, almost like little kind of little graduations. As I can recall, a first little graduating marker, a little milestone, was feeling that my connection to breath was as powerful as my connection to problems. So I could at least get my connection to breath on equal footing as immediate as my connection to connecting to problems. Don't stop there, of course. There's only more advantages to getting that connection to breath and that power of connection bigger than our problem connection. One more very deep breath. And when we release, setting the right foot down, establish pressure down through both feet. Feel the ground. And carefully shift the tailbone up, the buttock lifts, the sacrum lifts away from that block. And we'll begin our descent, feeling the upper back and the back of the heart connect to the ground. The middle of the back, the diaphragm. toe back. All right. Having lowered, let's turn onto a side so we can press to our forearms. We're setting up some dolphin. This version of dolphin today will work palms up. Occasionally, when we work dolphin palms up, sometimes without that firm palm connection to the ground, the hands can kind of windshield wiper in, especially if our shoulders are a little snug. So if you need to insert a bit of a block to prevent that windshield wipering, go ahead and put that between your pinkies, and let's set up elbows under shoulders, forearms out in parallel, just as we usually do, but palms up, getting the knuckles down. Okay. Now, if you do use blocks, you have that added task of pushing, spreading apart those last few hand bones. There's a tendency for that pinky hand bone to smush collapse into the ring finger, to smush collapse into the middle of the hand. So you'll have to really get active through those littlest digits. So it's kind of a really great energetic tool. Inhaling into back of heart, toes curl under. Exhaling, press those knees off floor. Here we are. Dolphin, this old friend. Of just feeling the back of the hand contacting the ground. And you'll feel left hand to right hand. Some knuckles might not quite touch the ground, but just keep reaching through those hand parts, feeling that littlest finger knuckle moving toward the ground, feeling that index knuckle moving toward the ground. Some knuckles may have a little gap between them and the floor. Perfect. You can start to feel into those hand spaces. This is a really cool tool for getting into the forearms, the wrist, the hands, and even some of those, for me, those temporal skull bone areas. Working the hands can be a really cool way to get into skull bone territory. Final 3 breaths, finding what's luminous. So how do we bring our breath into that equation that helps us feel what's luminous, what's fiery, what's lighting up, what's lively? And we can gently set the knees down. And as we exit, just clear any props. Slide the hands under the shoulders. And on your next exhale, let's press back downward dog. Now we'll do some moves and we'll do some wall work. So just have that in mind. So now, downward dog, palms fully interfacing with the ground. Feel the knuckle pads of your palm on the ground, keeping them thusly. And if you can feel that move you were just doing in dolphin, it was a little bit like turning the hands open. I don't want you to move the hands from the ground, but you can enact that rotation while spreading and keeping that index palm pad, ball mound on the ground. And that middle, feel that middle finger. That's it, Brett, that's it. That's it, Andrew. It's really neat with those hand connections and those arm articulations. Man, does that really light up some arms. So, congrats. That is really something. Inhaling, step left foot forward, warrior two, stance, chest opener. The chest opener I like today is interlace hands behind back. Inhaling, lifting the chest gently up away from the navel. Pressing out through those feet, keeping those feet active. We can feel them. Exhaling, shoulders glide down. Jaw can relax. Okay. So we'll keep the hands interlaced. I just want to point. This is where your hyoid or your wishbone is. Very close to there is your thyroid. And then, of course, right in here, we got that pericardium, that heart sac. Okay. Structurally, this is all interconnected. So just take these few moments as we breathe into the throat and heart. Feel that wishbone, which is below your jawline. Softening from the heart sac, heart spot. Just learn if there's any softening that can be felt there. One more breath. I'm just going to pull my right hand behind my back as we set up for extended warrior variation. So my right hand is behind my back, grabbing the thigh. Plant your left forearm on your thigh. Now let's feel that just slightly to the right side from the throat, the hyoid, from wishbone to heart. Sometimes unexpressed emotions can hang out around the throat, the heart, and the diaphragm. I release releasing that right hand. Now, inhaling, we just let that head and neck just gently turn. Reach down, find some extra padding for your right knee, and we place right knee down. Draw the arms up. If you're having some delicate back scenario, you're always welcome to plant or provide some other elements of support. I'm showing one where my knuckles are planted on the back of my pelvis. So sometimes we just have to plant a little bit and play. Now, entering lunge is just another iteration of entering hallowed ground, entering into sacred territory. Lots and lots of lunges. Lots and lots of lunges and legs. And one of the things I've noticed is to enter lunges so frequently comes along with this entering a problematic territory. Okay. We have the opportunity to maybe change how we enter that. How can this lunge be just another iteration of entering into hallowed territory? Maybe it's not so problematic. Maybe we just aren't yet able to experience the wonder there yet. And if you can make that little switch, if that little switch happens for you, just note how your body responds. Okay, heel to butt lunge. Left hand supportively presses left thigh. Right hand grabs right foot. So sometimes I only move into this lunge so that I'm feeling the front of the right thigh and those tissues get a little bit of love. So sometimes I don't lunge as far. So you don't, and that way I can push down mightily through that left foot and stay really supported through my spine. And release. Inhale, right foot down. Hands to ground. Exhaling, chaturanga. We'll step the left foot back and we'll lower all the way down. In this way, by breathing into the belly, we can feel that breath refract into the back and sacral areas. So cobra. Big toes, reach back. Inhale, belly into the ground. Pulling mid-spine away from low spine. Exhaling, lower, downward dog. Use those chest muscles to press. Feel those finger, not the pads of the finger, but the palm, kind of the palm side of the knuckle, the ball mounds of the palm. Feel all of those pressing, interfacing in the ground. Warrior 2, chest opener. Inhale, right foot forward. We'll connect the hands behind back, interlace, or use strap. And with the feet active, exhaling, gentle descent. Hands descend down, tailbone can descend down. And when I do any of that tailbone stuff, just feel if you're accessing a deeper part of the hip or if you're just flattening the back. Our low back actually is a really sweet curvature. We're not trying to flatten our back with our tailbone moves. Just kind of accessing these. It almost feels like a throttle. The pelvis shifts and these thigh bones are in a completely new relationship. I'm just going to pull that left hand further behind my back and I'm connecting it to my thigh. Extended warrior variation. Right forearm plants atop right thigh bone. I'm building these habits of consciousness. Today, one of these habits that we keep repeating and returning to is the habit of viewing and sensing each bodily experience with wonder, with awe, with reverence. Exploring our sacredness. The shamans and the storytellers, usually hear them tell the story of the wolves. We're always feeding one of these one of these wolves, and that's a habit of consciousness. Where do we continually place our interest? And when we release this, we're setting the left knee down atop cushion. There's a lunge. Inhaling, the arms reach up. If the buttock muscles aren't sufficient support system for your spine, go ahead and use the hands. You can place the hands on the hips. Heel to butt lunge. Inhale the right hand to your right thigh. The left hand may grab left foot. And release. Now, inhaling, we'll set that left foot down, hands to ground. Exhaling, chaturanga. Step right foot back, and let's lower all the way down to the ground. We'll be working boat. There might be one or a couple of us that benefit from putting a block between the feet. So if that's you, just as you're lowering, you can get that block right in between. And here we go. Interlace, hands behind back. And just a sidebar here, back sensitive folks, you can do the one where you grab the bottom of your butt. In fact, I'll do it with you. Shifting the tailbone down so the buttock muscles work in service of the low back. Inhale. Chest lifts. Exhaling. Reaching back, using your arm lines of energy. Open up the fronts of the shoulders. And release. Inhale, hands under chest. When we exhale, you can press to your knees or straight away press to downward dog. This is where we'll take a first transition moment to the wall. So from downward dog, just walk yourself out of there. And I want to help us remember this chest opening version of forearm balance. So it looks like forearm balance, or it looks like dolphin at the wall, but it's a chest opener. So I'm not trying to create a kind of a pristine vertical line of architecture. I really am creating an arch. So I'm biasing the chest. Okay. Now when I kick up to create this, make sure the hands are clasped and the knuckles are very close to the wall. When you do kick up, it'll be a move of getting the butt moving toward the wall. Pressing the chest away from the wall. Now, let's remember, if you're not kicking up, the move looks like dolphin at the wall. Again, clasping hands, pressing up, stepping up. But again, rather than a vertical spine, I'm pushing and articulating the chest toward the wall. So I'm biasing right in here. Okay. So does that leave a pose for everyone? If there's anyone who can't do either one of those, let me know and we'll get creative. All right. Let's plan on working these maybe 6 to 8 breaths. So enough time to steady ourselves and connect to, where's the sacred here? How do I discover again that wonder, that the space, breathing in a way that's luminous? Making sure that you press the butt off of the wall before you step down. If we got a solid 6 to 8 breaths in there, let's call that good. We'll transition again just to feel what that may have shaken up. Inversions to me have a little bit of that snow globe effect. It kind of shakes things up and then reorganization, settling. Let's stand at the top of our mat. Moving through a sun. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward or partially. So again, if you have a tender back, you can always do these folds partially. Lunge, bending the knees, hands down. Inhale, left foot back. Draw the arms up. Hands to ground. Exhale, right foot back. And with lower, plank to ground. Cobra, hands forward. Inhale. Use your breath to decompress spine. Exhaling, lower, downward dog. Lunge, inhale, left foot forward. Hands to ground. Exhaling, step right foot forward. Fold or partial fold. Inhale, stand, draw the arms up. Exhaling, hands to heart. All right, into the next. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, right foot back. Now we get to play with a little arrow. Top of right foot is down. And we can leave our hands down momentarily. On your next exhale, press the back knee, the right knee off the ground. And if you like the support of hands down, keep them there. Otherwise, we can take the hands to thigh or overhead. Spread the hand bones. If you feel a little zest, that aliveness through those littlest fingers, the fifth finger, the fourth finger. So feel those spaces in the hand open up. And bring your breath all the way up into that chest. We just did that sweet, terrific upside down move to bias and to massage some movement into those upper lung parts. So let's take another 1 or 2 breaths, reaching into that upper chest. And gently set the knee down, hands to ground, exhaling chaturanga. Now we've got some choice. You can lower all the way down to the ground or upward dog. Inhale, come on up, upward dog or cobra. Exhaling, downward dog. Press those palm mounds, those palm mounds into the ground. Lunge, arrow lunge. Inhale the right foot between your hands. Yeah. We'll set the left knee down, the top of the left foot down, and on exhale, press left knee off the ground. Option 1, hands stay down. Option 2, hands to thigh or overhead. Gently set knee down. Just that one pose, right? Right. Inhale, hands to ground. If I forget something, just holler at me. Exhale, chaturanga. Step the right foot back, lowering. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhaling, downward dog. Warrior one. Inhale, left foot forward. Left foot forward. Okay, we're going to work a brain cradling move. So the hope is that zesty connection to our legs can be maintained and stoked as we bring our hands to the base of the skull. Now I work this like a softening for the neck area, as well as an opening through the shoulder and back of heart move. So I bring those elbows close in. And reaching those elbows up. Let that breath kind of seep into the chambers of the heart. Relaxing underneath the brain. And when we release, just help the head back over your pelvis. And again, we'll pad the knee. Setting the knee down, lots of padding. So working one of two ways. Let me show you the two ways. The first way, I can continue using my left hand to support the base of my skull, while my right hand grabs the ankle. Now, my foot is drawing my arm back. Okay, the second way is I put both hands on my right ankle and I let the pressure of my foot create the chest opening. Okay. Feel the fronts of the shoulders, the heads of the shoulders softening. A common thing I'll see here is the elbows are bent, pulling the foot in. That's a different pose. The pose we're going for is the arms are straightened as the foot presses against the hands, straightening the arms. That's it, Amy. Now, it's not a hard tautness through the arms. It's just taking the slack out. And now breathe into the heads of the shoulders and the front of the heart. And feel if that heart softens. Feel how that ripples through the shoulders. How that ripples in and through the jaw and the wishbone. That's it, Brett. That's it. That's cool. That's really neat. Yeah, exactly. Right up under that sternum, Nancy. That's it. Good. Let's release. And let's use pigeon as a kind of a neutralizer, a little unwind. So we walk our left foot across the mat, lying the shin down. Place your forearms on the ground. And as you reach the right leg back, the forearms can gently lengthen the heart and diaphragm forward. Discovering space can lead us into that lively, luminescent quality. And that luminescent quality can help us get an experience of the sacred. Inhaling, hands under chest. Exhaling, downward dog. And we'll do those few moves on the other side. Warrior one to start. Inhale the right foot forward. Draw the arms up. Exhaling, the feet active, pressing back through that left heel. Brain cradling. So we'll bring the hands underneath the skull. Reach up through the elbows. Feeling those lines of aliveness opening up through the arms, the shoulder, the heart. As we explore feeling what's sacred, what's holy in the body, and the experience of being human, we often feel more interconnected. Inside of our individual person, things feel more linked. There's more coherence, more integratedness. Amongst our fellow humans, we feel more connected, bonded, hopefully healthfully bonded. All right, so when we bring the head back over the pelvis, we're setting the left knee down, patting, for the left hand to grab. Now the right hand has the option of continuing that brain cradling move. So you're getting into both shoulders subtly, yet deeply. Or you can grab that left foot with the right hand also. Making sure with this version that the foot is helping facilitate the chest opening. So uncluttering around the shoulders, around the sides of the heart. And releasing, we'll take pigeon. Walk the right foot to the left side. Lie shin down. Inhale. Bring hands under shoulders. Exhaling, downward dog. Now get or feel the palm ball mounds of the hand, especially the index, the middle. Feel them interfacing, and without them moving, turn, rotate those arms. And gently set knees down. Wow. As we lie down, just know that we're both moving towards Shavasana and some back unwind. So if you want to add layers in to rest more warmly, now's a good time. And when you lie back, we'll hug the right knee to the chest, straightening the left leg out along the ground. For lying spinal twist, we'll turn onto our left side. So bring that right knee to the left side of the body on a prop or on the ground. The right arm, reach off to the right or slightly up and to the right. And connecting to that deep breath. Letting the area around the heart soften, through the midsection soften. Softening is one of those means of energetic conductance. Where energy can move, there can be relationship. So to circulate is to relate. And let's turn back onto our backs and we'll change sides. So extend or straighten the right leg out along the ground. Hug left knee in. Turn to your right side, putting left knee on prop or ground. Allow the left arm to reach to your left. And when we release, you'll turn onto your back. And we're ready for Shavasana. So please feel free to straighten out the legs, the arms. If you need props to rest, by all means, get those props into place. You feel those motions, that play of energy and movement in the body, that aliveness. It's really a beautiful thing because our identity and our stories are just a little bit malleable. And what's sacred and deeply true can play through that. Right? That light can play through a flexible, translucent structure more readily than an opaque or rigid structure, right? So let that light, let that liveliness play through the body. It might feel like waves, it might feel a little sparkly or electric, it might feel like kind of a pulsing, mysterious pulsing. It might feel like the deep ocean. As you stay with the breath, you do encourage that free play. It's letting the motions motion. Letting the deep and unconscious parts of our structure and person mix and mingle with our waking or partially awake view. Letting the deep and the surface mix and mold and so when you're ready, bend knees. Turn to a side and use both hands to press so that you move to vertical without suddenness or shock. Namaste.